headed to the pumpkin patch. You excited? Me too. Mr. Goat. Hello. They're playing. They're so cute. Oh, there's the chickens. What's that chicken eating?
A piece of corn.
You should pet his nose. Her nose. He's like, don't touch me. Thank you. Oh, who's that? Oh, he wants one.
Of course.
Yeah.
You want one?
He's like, no, you don't have food. You don't touch me.
That means he likes me.
You want to hold the pumpkin?
That one. Got it?
Wow. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Poor girl is sick. It has been a rough couple nights. So that's sad. So she's just been in bed watching old episodes of Reading Rainbow. So I found this fat quarter at a semi-local quilt shop. I had to drive a ways to go there, but it's this. Isn't that pretty? I'm thinking of making curtains with it. Of course, not with this fat quarter. I need to order more. So I got this fat quarter and I was like, oh, this is so pretty. And then in the car, I just started falling in love with it more and more. And I was like, oh, look at the band, right? Because fat quarters have bands, the selvage edge to show where it's at, where, you know, the name of the fabric. Well, guess what part of the fat quarter I got? I got the part of the fat quarter that is on the top, so it doesn't say what it is. So I had no clue what fabric it was. They didn't have it in the shop anymore. So what my husband suggested is I do a Google image search, and I did. And guess what? I found the design. So I think I'm going to make curtains for the craft room, for my sewing room. So first I need to figure out what kind of curtains I want to make, how much I need, measure the windows, and then I'll know how much fabric. I believe it's discontinued, so I found a place in Canada that should have enough, so I'll probably buy it from there. But I really like it. I cleaned enough of this room that I was able to pull up the drop leaf table for cutting and things like that. So yay, yay, I'm so happy. Okay, look, it's shaping up. I still have a ton of fabric to do, but that's okay. I ran out of the cardboard, what do you call it? Comic book boards. And that's what I used to wrap these up. But I was having the problem where there was I'm not going to pull it out because it'll just throw everything out of whack. But the loose part of the fabric is flappy and it's hard to get it to stay. So someone on YouTube, multiple people on YouTube recommended alligator clips. So those are coming in the mail today. And more book boards are coming in the mail today. So I will be able to wrap more of the fabric and secure it so I can pull out a little mini bolt and not worry about it coming apart. So that's really good. And I've been learning how to fold my fat quarters. So I will do a video on that once I get it perfected. I don't really do Halloween. I mean, maybe a little bit. I don't like scary stuff. I don't watch scary movies or anything like that. I don't like witches and I don't know that. I don't do like the sorcery type stuff. But what I do love about Halloween is the pumpkins, the trick-or-treating, and I saw this yarn. It is called The Great Pumpkin Speckle. Isn't that pretty? It is by Knit Circus in her opulence, which is, let's see, opulence. Her opulence is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It is so soft. I love It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I watch that every year. So yeah, when I think of Halloween, for me, it's, I don't know, I like anything pumpkin. I kind of like the ghost thing. Okay, so today is Thursday and I got a lot of stuff done in my craft room. But yeah, I thought today I would show you my projects that I've worked on in the past that have been, they have been, what do you call it when you haven't, hibernating, that's it. The projects, I'll show you the projects that have been hibernating for probably 5 years or more. I kind of stopped sewing when my daughter arrived. I sewed a little bit, but then we moved suddenly when she was, how old is she? She just started walking. And we moved and I had no more space to sew. So I packed everything up and I did hardly any sewing. Okay, so you want to see that today? So that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully you do. So stay tuned in the next clip. That's what we will do. First, I got to figure out where I'm going to film it. My craft room, it's still messy. I'm just a messy person. I can't seem to get organized. So the first one I want to show you is, I don't know. I'm just going to pick one up randomly. Okay, here I am. I haven't really organized these projects yet, so I'm not sure what we'll find exactly, but we'll start with my Heather Bailey quilt. A few years ago, I got into Heather Bailey fabric very hard. I bought so much of her fabric, and I'm glad I did, because you can't get the fabrics I loved anymore. She's coming out with a new product line, which looks really cool, but it's just not like her classic fresh cut line. So, okay. I'm gonna need more space, I think. So here's a close-up. It's been so long, I have no idea what pattern it is, so I'm sorry if you want to know. A lot of the quilts I did just spontaneously. I don't like following patterns. Okay, I think I'm gonna go get a stepping stool. Can't get out. I'm locked in my room. I can't get out. I'm gonna have to call the landlord at some point because that is a fire hazard. Okay, stool. There we go. I like to do my exercises. Heaven knows I need them. Okay. Okay. Whoop. Here it is close up. I really love this one. I already have its backing already done, so there's really no excuse why I haven't quilted this. This is the back fabric. So this is for the backing. So yeah, that's quilt's pretty much ready. I just gotta get some batting, sandwich it together, and then quilt it. I don't have a backing for this one yet. Oh, this one's big. Oh, wow. This one's huge. I don't know how I'm gonna show you this. It's a pretty quilt, but it's not like what I would choose today if I did one. I like this a lot. It's not quite my style. It's big, but it still might be a good practice quilt because I haven't machine quilted in a long time, and I like to do the free motion quilting. I don't know if my body could handle that now with my joint issues, but it's worth a try. Next is a Christmas quilt. Okay, so this is just the backing of my Christmas quilt, but to use up the rest of my fabric so I didn't have to go out and buy more fabric, I just used the leftovers to make a backing. Show you close up first. Ta-da! Yeah. And this appears to be scraps of that quilt. I was gonna make a mini scrap quilt, I guess, out of the scraps. Look at how well I planned this out. You can tell this was pre-kid. There's no way now it would be that neat. How cute is that? I should show you. I guess I was gonna make it bigger. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, this quilt is finished. It was for my husband. He wanted me to make him a patriotic quilt, and I promised him I would, and I made him a patriotic quilt top, not a quilt. So I need to get this finished. I think with this one, I want to go to a long arm quilter. I don't want to hand quilt it or machine quilt it, because I think what would be fun is a star pattern for the stitching. Back in the day, I made quilts for wounded soldiers with a quilting group. They're actually the group, I think I mentioned it before, they're the group I went to the quilt show with. Hello. I believe this was going to be a table runner. This was another favorite line of mine. This is made from a jelly roll. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. If I should do a table runner. I'm not really a table runner kind of a person. I'd rather make like a lap quilt out of this. I have plenty more. And I have pre-cut triangles to sew it all together. And then I even still have a jelly roll. Why did I undo this jelly roll? So yeah, I don't know what I should probably make a quilt out of it. Maybe a lap quilt? I don't know, we'll see. I just was in the mood to sew, so I sewed some strips together. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Incorporate it into a quilt or something. Okay, so this was going to be our special family picnic blanket quilt, where it was an easy quilt to put together. If it gets stained, not a big deal because it was made for that. And I never finished it, and I'm going to because my daughter still loves picnics and we don't do it too often. So I'm not sure. I found this, this was one of the last fabrics I picked out with my mom when she was able to craft before Alzheimer's set in. So it brings back good memories, but kind of makes me a little melancholy. Okay. So I thought this one was finished. We'll see if it is. So it's not finished, darn it. So it's just a basic patchwork quilt, just 2 squares. So yeah, this is just gonna be a giant patchwork quilt. Big enough to spread out for my whole family. I don't know what this is. Oh! Here's the design. And this was going to be a Berenstain Bears quilt. So and then in pink. This must be a fat quarter. Looks like I was going to do this white pink polka dot squares, and then I was going to make squares out of this with a border of the hot pink, and then sew the squares together. That's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. Fall. This is an in project. This is an in project. This is an in-progress quilt throw. So for Thanksgiving. It's just a little couch quilt for the over the top to decorate it. I also have a banner that I made out of the same fall fabrics. I love leaves, toadstools. Yeah. This one I just designed myself. I didn't follow a pattern. I just kind of sewed blocks together how I liked them. This cool brown polka dot is for the backing. That's gonna be cute. By the way, these bags are great for storing projects. In the dollar store, that's what the box looks like. I use them for my knitting and I use them for my quilt projects. One time I did buy a box and it smelled really bad, like heavy floral perfume. And I did not want my stuff smelling like that, so I just threw it away. But it only happened to me once. So Dollar Tree. This is so nicely folded. Okay, I'm gonna do this for you. I hope you appreciate it. Okay, let's see. This one's really simple. It's just, oh, it's okay. It's a strip quilt. This is a special quilt because when my daughter turned 3, we did a Princess and the Pea birthday party for her. And I used this fabric for her banner and for her doll bed. I made a mattress for her doll bed. And I love the fabric so much that I was like, oh, I'm gonna make her a quilt out of it. She has a lot of quilts for her. Hey, I'm popping in for just a second. It's the next day. I was editing this video and I was watching the filming of this quilt and I was reminded the story behind the quilt. So you know that the fabric came from my daughter's birthday party. The theme was Princess and the Pea. Well, this was going to be a Princess and the Pea quilt. So the reason it's a strip quilt is because each strip represents one of the mattresses in the Princess and the Pea. Okay? So here's the mattresses, you know, the tall stack of mattresses, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to embroider a pea in between one of the sheets. A little green pea, like right in the center. Probably, it would be, of course, let's see. If you have a stack of mattresses, it would be at the bottom of the stack. So let's see, I'd probably do it right in between here. So I'll embroider a pea. I've never embroidered on a quilt before, so it would be my first time. But yeah, I thought I'd pop in and tell you what I was thinking with this. I forgot all about it until I was watching the footage back. But yeah, so this will be my Princess and the Pea quilt. I made a Minnie Mouse quilt for my best friend when she had her first baby. And this is the leftover fabric, and I was going to make something either for my daughter's cousin or my daughter, depending on if she liked it or not. So it's just Minnie Mouse fabric. No, I missed one. There's this one quilt that I started. I can't undo it because, well, can I undo it? Yeah, I can't undo it because it'll mess up the order. But it's a quilt on the diagonal, quilt squares on the diagonal. Let's see if I can show you. I'll show you the tiniest bit. This was from a magazine. This design was definitely from a magazine, and it's going to be on the diagonal like this. And I still really love it. It's vintage inspired fabrics. I don't know the fabric line because this was from a long time ago. This was one of the first quilts I started making and I never finished it. So I really need to finish it because I want to use it. I like it a lot. Okay, that's a wrap for week number 3. Goodness, it went by quickly. I'll see you next week and thank you for watching. And before I go, I'm going to leave you with 2 of my favorite VLOGTOBER channels. So go take a look at them. See you next week. Bye.